This is the Sugar Scoop, and I am Shelby Bower. And today we're going to be making this gorgeous Gothic themed inspired cake. It's got some beautiful dark lace all over it, which is in collaboration with Madame LouLou. So definitely hop over to their channel after watching this and you'll learn how to make this beautiful lace. I have a video on there where I demo the lace and just kind of the basics of it and how easy it is to make gorgeous lace using this product. Super easy. And then I cover the cake in their lilac fondant and add these really beautiful metal details and this kind of bas relief. It's not technically bas relief, but it's definitely a beautiful arrangement on top, and I'm excited to get started. Okay, so I'm going to be using my Smart Lace to cover this beautiful lilac colored cake. So this cake is covered in the lilac color from Madame LouLou's fondant. And I have pre-cut all of my lace pieces. I did this because it's just kind of boring for you guys to watch, but I'll explain to you how I did it. So all I did was measure the cake, and I liked this, like these little patterns going up and down. So I just measured the cake. I actually want that on the bottom. And then cut it with an X-Acto blade. That's pretty much it. And for the tops, for this one, I just took this is a 6-inch, so I took a 6-inch round board and then just with my X-Acto knife went around. And then with this one, I used this cookie cutter and just went around with the X-Acto blade, so it fits really nice on top. So getting my pieces together was pretty simple, just cutting them out, making sure you have the right sizes. Now, I know you're really supposed to attach the edible lace. Let's go ahead and do the tops first. Or I should say the Smart Lace with cold water. This particular design is very, very fragile. And I was using the cold water earlier and it kind of started disintegrating. And I remembered a trick from a long time ago is to use Crisco to attach lace. And what's really great about that is you can kind of move your lace around. It's not in a permanent position because you didn't glue it down. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is attach the top. So I just get a little bit of Crisco in my hands. And I'm going to do the side that's more flat. There's like a pokier side. And then I'm just going to kind of brush over the lace pattern with the Crisco. Try not to get it, just a light coating. I'm not trying to get it stuck in the little holes or too clumpy or anything. Just a nice even amount on the back side. And I want to get all these little really delicate parts too because I really want them to stay down. Because the worst thing when you're working with edible lace is for it to start buckling or coming up in certain places, and I definitely don't want that to happen. So this one is pretty nice and saturated now. You can tell because it's shiny in the spots where you got it with the Crisco. Stuff is just falling all around me today. So I have my little bar towel here, so I'm going to wipe my hands off. And then take this little guy off of here. And I'm going to attach with the Crisco side down onto the cake. And then I have my trusty cake smoother. I'm just going to press it into the cake. And it should stay pretty nicely. And it's looking really good so far. And you can always go underneath, you know, if you have a part that's coming up or something. You can add a little bit more Crisco. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is the top of this one. So I'm going to cover this entire cake with lace. So the next thing that I'll do is I'm going to start working with the side panels. So like I said, I pre-cut the side panels and I made these little details going upwards, which I really think is pretty. So again, I want the pokier side up. So I'm going to do the flatter side with the Crisco. Get some Crisco on my fingers. And I do the Crisco on the lace because I don't want to cover my entire cake with Crisco because I don't want it to be shiny. So it's sticking pretty good. I do have an area here that's not sticking very well, so I'm going to use my edible glue. This is just fondant's edible glue. I'm just going to go in here and kind of get those edges and stick them down. And this time, because the last time, I'm going to go ahead and at the ends do the edible glue. Just because those seem to have the most trouble sticking. And then the rest of it, I'll do my Crisco. Alright guys, so we have our beautiful little lace cake going on here, and I have used a mold that I made from an antique piece of metal to create these guys. And you can actually watch how I made these in my video. I'll link it below on how to do silicone molds. So I just went ahead and made a few of these out of some of the blue denim fondant from LouLou. And I am going to go ahead and glue them on using my Fondant's edible glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of vodka, and I have my little plate right here and some paintbrushes, and I'm going to take, I love Chef Master color, so I'm going to use some Chef Master color in black and add some vodka to it and make kind of like just a wash. And I'm going to paint over these pieces. And then another thing that I wanted to do is you're never going to get like a perfect edge with your lace. So I'm going to take my brush with the black wash, and I'm just gonna kind of go on that edge and make it look a little bit sharper. Okay, so like that's the front for now. But the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the Madame LouLou black fondant. And I just bought a new set of molds, which I'm excited to use. I haven't used them yet. Let's see, where'd you go? Here they are. So these are from Cake Supply World, I think. I got them at That Takes the Cake in Austin. So I'm excited to use them. And I thought they'd be really pretty addition to the top tier. It's just some like flowers and like all sorts of different cool stuff. CakeSupplyWorld.com, and it was only $13.99, which is a really good price for how pretty this mold looks. So I'm gonna test it out, and of course I'm gonna have to have a black rose. And let me find my razor blade, and I'm just gonna go ahead and chop off the excess. And I like to let my fondant kind of sit in the mold for just a little bit. shoe. I'm gonna make another rose that's black. Pulls out super easy, so that's really pretty. Gorgeous. And so I'm gonna put these around the edge of the top tier. So I'm just gonna use my edible glue again and just go ahead and put these on the top tier. But I'm thinking that looks really cool. So I'm just gonna press these guys on one more time, now that they probably had more time to dry. I think they're looking pretty cool. So now I'm going to highlight. So to highlight, I'm going to be using this metallic food paint from Rainbow Dust. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, I got this stuff in a goodie bag for being a Sugar Geek Elite, and I'm obsessed. So anywho, it's like just a silver paint. It's really pigmented. I'm absolutely obsessed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with these little flowers. Kind of lean over so you guys can see, and just kind of highlight the petals. So one more thing that I want to do before I finish is I'm going to come over so you guys can kind of see better. I'm going to, oh no, edible glue stay. See, it's my light touch. I gotta kind of squish it in there better. There we go, that'll stay. Okay, I'm gonna go in and just kind of hit these pretty accents on this antique mold that I made, just so you can kind of see the relief a little bit better. think I'm done. So now it's time to take a picture of this pretty. If you feel like you learned something, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, The Sugar Scoop, and definitely hop on over to Madam LouLou's channel, which I'll link below, and check out my tutorial on how to use the edible lace. See you guys next Wednesday.